Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, from wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Sneaker Truth. And Sneaker Truth basically is about the hype, the madness, the craziness, the sickness, if I may use that word, about sneakers worldwide and the madness and the craziness behind the need for these shoes. And I must say that we, as a family business based here in Switzerland, I myself have my own brand. I'm a professional golfer and I have my own brand of golf shoes. And I've been dealing with shoes since 2002. Probably before a lot of you were born, and most definitely before the sneaker hype came out. Back in those days, I can remember probably Converse or
Air Force Ones.
Air Force Ones. Thanks. But whichever way, it's a painful thing to see around the world that young people and some grown-ups are going absolutely crazy and paying a lot of money for shoes, first of all, that are mass-produced. Secondly, 99% of them are not limited. But somehow, the social media has literally tried to convince many young people, or should I say Generation X, across the world, that the shoes are limited to some aspects. But it's not about the limited, we will get to that. It's about the transparency and the confidence in sneakers worldwide as we understand that they are in demand. What does that mean, demand? Demand is, for example, if I was to take, for example, this is my own brand, my own design with my logo on it. Yeah, that's our logo. And I would say, okay, let's say I say, and I'm very transparent about what I say, Tiger Woods, here, I sponsor you, my shoe. I am guaranteed that as soon as Tiger Woods wears this and get on the social media, my shoes go from X amount of dollars to thousands of dollars. And why is that? Because Tiger Woods is a public figure, he's well known, so automatically that's where the price goes up. But that's the hype, yeah? And that's what I'm going to get to. We've got Jordans, ones, Off-White, the whole range. The shoes themselves are extremely expensive, whereby a lot of people, a lot of young people especially worldwide, do not know that these shoes are less than $200 US when they are released. When they are released. And if you do not understand what release mean, I can use another piece of, another terminology. When they first come out and they're available online, when they're dropped, okay, that's the price. Okay, under $200 US, like 170, 180, 190, okay? Now the problem is, and I say problem, is that when the shoes are released, dropped, or when they come out and they're available, then they're sold out. They're sold for the price, as I just told you, which is actually by law here on the box. And it says here, Jordan's Off-White, the 10, 190 US dollars. That is the price of the shoe, the retail price. Now, we got a big problem because I discovered that online, not only is the shoe available, but the price depends on the size. And when you buy a size, the price changes. Now, this is wrong. And it's wrong for many reasons, because if the price was different or should be different, then when they are released, then the price should be exactly, then they should put size 12, size 13, size 46, depending on the European. Then they should put, if a 45 is $180, a 44 is, they should actually, I'm getting crazy, they should put the price in comparison with the size. But that's not the case. When they release, the price is the same. It doesn't matter what size. Who can explain to me, why is it then when they're resold on StockX, on Flight Club, on Farfetch, these three major online resellers, why is the shoe size in regards of the price different? That is wrong. Because if that was the case, when they are released, then they would say straight off that the size 4 costs $500, the size 5 costs $700, or the size 6 costs $800, as an example. That is not what's happening, and that does not exist. It does not happen. On all of you worldwide who know that when you buy these shoes, you know that the price stays the same, does not matter which size. I need an explanation, first off. And secondly, when it's about the details, the legit checkers on Google are thousands, literally thousands. As you can see here, I don't have to, you can Google yourself Jordan's off-white fakes, and it will show a barrage, thousands of photos from different people worldwide showing the same things, you know? Same shoe, everybody's got their own opinion about what's fake and what's real, and so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is, what these guys are doing, or even on YouTube when they have the legit checkers, God bless them, they're trying to do their best to make money. But the reality is that I've discovered on the three most, the biggest online resellers, StockX, Flight Club, Farfetch, I discovered that the Chicago Off-White Jordans 1, I've controlled and looked, and all three of these online sellers, the same shoe, totally different details. Now, I need an explanation, because we cannot have the legit checks worldwide, be that on Instagram, be that on Facebook, be that on YouTube, trying to say this and this and this and this and this, or this line here, or this word here, or this letter here must be in this and this position. And then when I discover that on these three, let me get my glasses, on the three biggest Flight Club, we got a Jordan Chicago Off-White. And I've discovered, and understand me right, that if the shoes and the legit checks say that every single line, every single detail must be exactly the same as the original, then why is it that on the world's three biggest online stores, and I look at the Jordan Chicago on Flight Club, and I look, for example, where the line goes through, don't forget, the legit checks worldwide on YouTube and Google, they specifically look at where everything is positioned. Okay, that's their right. But when I look at StockX, and I see that Flight Club, and I look at the shoe I have in my hand, and I see, okay, this line, goes through from between the NIK, between the I and the K, all the way down between the O and the G. Fine. That's Flight Club's version. But then I check Flight Club out again, and I go to the same shoe. Okay. Wait a minute. I just have to do this right. I Googled it twice. And I got the first one. This is Flight Club, as you can see. Yeah. Now I opened up another window for Flight Club and gave in Jordan's 1 again. Okay, wait, I have to be careful. And they've got basically the same, wait, I don't want to say anything stupid. They've got both the same as the line goes through behind the G and the O. Yeah, but when I turn the shoe around to look at this side, wait a minute, here, and I go back to the other Google, I open the first one, and I open up, and I go back to the same, wait. Where's my mouse? Come on, Mickey. Voila. Now, observe. Okay, we're at Flight Club 1, okay? And exactly, the line between the I and, you see the I, and then the stitching, okay? On mine, it goes right between the stitching. On Flight Club number 1, it goes outside of the stitching. I go now to Flight Club number 2, same Flight Club, same shoe. But then, here, the I goes between the stitching, just like the ones that I have in my hand. So we got a situation here, because it's the same shoe, same Flight Club, and you can see for yourself. You can go and you can log on, whatever. Okay. As for the inside, and please pay attention, I'm not doing no Adobe Photoshop or anything. This is actually live online. Here, we go on the inside, and now we can see that on Flight Club number 2, the G, the line, the stitching goes right between the G and the O, just like the one I have in my hand. We go back on Flight Club number 1 and go here. And we can see the same thing. The line of the stitching goes between the G and the O, just like on Flight Club number 1. But what I'm saying is that the outside of the shoe, on the right outside, that's where I have a problem, because it should be the same, both Flight Club. But the I doesn't go through the middle of the stitching, like on mine on Flight Club number 1. But on Flight Club number 2, it goes through the stitching exactly like mine in my hand. That is not acceptable, because we've got this. And this is the Google of all the so-called legit checks. I can even zoom in here, and you can see they speak about the same thing everywhere. I don't have to take any particular one, but you can see on Google fake and real photos, there are thousands, literally thousands, showing fake, real, different positioning from the lining and from the words and everything else. It's all here. They even emphasize on it with red circulations and all the rest of it. Now we go to StockX, same shoe. And StockX has got the I outside of the stitching. Mine has got the I in the middle of the stitching. Okay, fine. So that takes you back to Flight Club number 2. Now let's go to the inside of the shoe on StockX. Let's see if you can see. I have to get it correct. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it around. And here we got the line going through the O, which is totally different from both of the previous Flight Clubs. Totally. Same shoe. But look how the line of the stitching goes through the O. And look how the line of the stitching goes between the G and the O, just like on Flight Club. Look at that. Just the same as mine. I jump back over to StockX, and their line goes through the O. Now, this for me is, I don't want to use the word a lie, but this is nonsense. Because if all of these guys here on Google are doing legit checks worldwide for people or putting fake photos against real photos, then where's the logic? Where's the truth? In this, and in this, and this what I have in my hand. Where's the truth? Where is the truth? Where's the truth? Jumping over to Farfetch. Now this is incredible because Farfetch does not show anywhere the inside of the shoe. And observe, Flight Club shows the inside of the shoe. So does StockX, but we're here to Farfetch. And Farfetch does not show nowhere. They've got 5 photos. You can see yourself. You can go online, as I said, you can go online yourself. And all of their photos just show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos, different positions, but none of them show the inside of the shoe. None of them. So I decided, okay, let's look at the writing on the outside. And with Farfetch, here, I zoom in, and now we got a problem because the eye on the ear on the right side, just like on StockX and Flight Club, the eye here is not in the middle or not on the right side, but it's way left. Way left. And we're going to go back and you're going to see for yourself. Now this needs not only an explanation. If StockX and Flight Club are transparent with showing the inside of the shoe, yeah, then why is it that Farfetch, and why is it that Farfetch, this is it, StockX, huh? All of them show the inside even if the details are wrong, huh? Or should I say not correct? Why is it that Farfetch cannot do the same? Because if I'm buying online and the legit checks are here to warn us, thousands of them, then I expect all of these 3 famous, big, and the most well-known online sellers should also be transparent and show the inside of the shoe, just like the legit checkers. But here we don't see anything of the inside of the shoe. Sorry. But this is totally different from both StockX and Flight Club. Explanation? There's no explanation. So I need an explanation for why is it that these 3 online sellers, the biggest in the world, have got 3 totally different descriptions of details about the same shoe. So that means that all of these young people here, or old people, whoever does these legit check photos on Google, which are literally hundreds of thousands, yeah? Then all of these, are they wrong? How could they be wrong? They don't know. For the simple reason that if the 3 of these have the same shoe with 3 different details or no details at all, that means it's a lie. It's a lie, and that's why this program is called Sneaker Truth. Huh? And I will give you an example. Nobody in the world, I'll put it different. I would never expect a policeman in this country, Switzerland, where we are, where I live. I would never expect a policeman, or nobody would never expect or suspect a policeman for selling drugs and guns from his own home, in his own apartment here in Switzerland. You know why? Because people trust and believe. And it's the same syndrome. Everybody believes that StockX, Flight Club, and Farfetch, because they got a good name and they got this and that, nobody would never, ever, ever even look into the shoes that they sell in detail and suspect that there's something. But God showed me, and I discovered last year, 5 months I've been on this, and those 3 online stores have the same shoe, 3 different prices, and all of them got 3 different details. I will say it's a lie, and not only it's a lie, it's theft. And it totally contradicts every single legit check photo and YouTube legit check video that's out there.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. I don't like the word scam. I prefer to say it's theft, and it's theft again. And a lot of people brought their shoes to us to make a legit check. I was able to do it up until August last year, until I discovered what I discovered, as I just showed you. I cannot give legit checks anymore because I do not know what is not fake, because we're going to get to that. I do not know what to believe anymore. Because if they would come, if StockX and Flight Club would come to me and Farfetch and say, well, it's because they're mass produced, that's why they have these little differences, then I would say, well, okay, then please, then get online or get in contact with these thousands and thousands of young people who are doing legit checks here in Google, or go on YouTube where they do legit checks, thousands of them, and then explain to them, because then everything is theft. They have been misled. The buyers have been misled. We've all been misled. And you cannot mislead people unless you do it because you want to make money. And in regards of money, yeah, there are people who told me, who believe that the shoes were limited. But if the shoes were limited, that means then that there must be a certain amount. That's limited. I have some limited shoes here somewhere. They're mine, all legit, all real. Yeah. Jordans 4 Eminem Encore. Yeah, not too many pairs made. 75, 25, I don't know, out 2 times. These, huh? Encore, Jordans 4 Eminem. Yeah. That's what's called limited. Then we got Jordans 4 Undefeated, also limited. I think about 72 or 78 pairs. Family, friends and family, whatever. Got it all here. These are my personal stuff. These are what's limited because the price exceeds 20,000, 25,000 US dollars. Those are limited. Of course, there are fakes everywhere. We know that in regards of, copies. Yeah? That's normal. Yeah? But when we're speaking about that, if these are limited, it's impossible. Why? Because just like I can take my smartphone and I can go online with the Flight Club app, with the Farfetch app, with the StockX app,
And buy them.
and I can buy them. I got the money. But wait a minute. If a shoe is Farfetch or a shoe is limited or a shirt is limited, but it's online to be had, but you're still using the word limited, that means that limited does not exist, because just like I got my phone, my homeboy's got his phone, you the cameraman has got your phone, and we want to say, okay, I got 10 grand, I like this shit, okay, I'll buy them online with the app, they get sent to me. Now imagine, be with me, not just you, me, and my homie here, or the cameraman or the boy next door, have got iPhones with apps in Switzerland. No. We're talking about young people or people around the world in general who've got the same smartphones, the same app to buy online, the same amount of money, and we're talking well over 50 million, 100 million. Now we got a problem here, because then if these were really limited, even if there were 1 million, and as soon as they release and put online to be had in Farfetch, Flight Club, and StockX, they would be gone before you can say Jack Robinson. So there's no limited. I'll play it back. Not only I have got a smartphone, not only he has got a smartphone with an app, who's got money, we got money. So that means that all the kids around the world who want to buy these shoes, let's say at the same time, because they see what we see. I see StockX go for 4Gs. 50 million little rich kids in Canada sees the same thing. 100 million little rich kids in the USA see the same thing. 200 million rich kids in China see the same thing. And as example, and they want the hype shoes because it's out there that they're hype. They got the money, so where's the limited shit? There's no limited. And let's be realistic about it. It's a lie. So if you want to come with that argument that it's limited, please not. The reason we're doing this is simple. We cannot put shoes out there for young people and say, okay, this is the trend. But at the same time, they don't have the financial capacity, the ability to buy the shoes. And that's another thing. What happens? They go and steal to get the money. They do all kinds of crazy, maybe they sell their bodies to get the money. They rob people, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We have had thousands of young people came to us and told us that they would have done anything to get the shoes. But why should it be like that? Because when the shoes were released, they cost exactly here on the box, 190 bucks. Huh? They could have afforded it then, but they cannot afford it now. And that's what I'm talking about. This whole shoe thing, I'm not against it, but the direction it's gone in has literally poisoned young people. Generation X has no idea. Some kids come into the store, I tell them our shoes cost so much. They say, well, Pete, cannot be. Because on StockX or Flight Club, the shoes cost $5,000. Why is yours $800? I said, get your phone out. I get my phone out and I said, let's go online. And then I take them right here. And this is where the reality steps in. I take them right here. And I said, okay, guys, this is what you see. Yeah, they see this, 3,000, 4,000 by the last sale or the highest bid. But I said, okay, scroll down. And I said, you see that right here? And I showed them, I said, that retail price, 190 US dollars. And they are speechless. And then I get the box with the original, so-called original shoe. Then I showed them here. And I said, here is the price. Officially, it's always on the box. And that's the price of the shoe. And 100% of these people are speechless when I show them that. What does that tell you? Huh? What does that tell you? That shows us that all of this, with the price so small, and people with phones only see the big price. It's only a small percent of people who knows the retail price. And I told the young people, hundreds of them, not just in our store, but also who contacted me online over Facebook, over Instagram, through WhatsApp. And I said, guys, listen, if the shoe was supposed to be for 4,000 francs or 4,000 US dollars, may the case may be because we're in Switzerland, I say francs, then it would be on the box when they're released. That would be the price when they're dropped. That would be the price when they're dropped. That will be the price when they are released. It would be that price. Not, get it right. It's theft, and it's theft worldwide. And I want to make you guys know, I am not speaking bad about StockX. I am not speaking bad about Flight Club. I am not speaking bad about Farfetch. I do not speak bad for the simple reason I have my own brand. And I know about shoes. I'm a professional golfer. I have my own brand with my own name in it. Yeah, that's the deal. Okay, so I know about shoes since a long time. If anybody was to come to me and buy my shoe and then I would discover the next day that it's sold online for 10 times, so let's say our shoes are 350 US dollars, they're handmade in Italy just across the border. And I was to find out that our shoes were being sold for $5,000 instead of 350, I want an explanation. I want an explanation because that's not the price that they're worth. They're worth 350, and it's not about reselling. If you want to resell my brand, then you've got to ask me and have written permission, Mr. Peter Andrew Herwood, can I resell your shoes at 5,000? Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. The possibility that I would say, the probability that I would say yes, you can, is zero. Because if I wanted to sell it for 5,000, I would put the original price for 5,000. When I look online and I see that Flight Club, StockX, and Farfetch, same shoe, 3 different prices, same shoe, and what's painful is that it would have been so nice if they all of them had the same details as we explained previously. Then I could say, okay, but they've got all different details, same shoe, different details, 3 different prices. That is theft. And I think, and I'm going to say this very boldly, that if Nike knew or didn't know that all of these online stores, it doesn't matter if it's resell or whatever the case may be, how can they allow a shoe to be resold for $7,000, for $5,000, for $6,000 when originally they cost, like on the box, $190? It does not make sense. It's not logical, and it's sure as heck is not fair, because these shoes are mass produced in China, and anything that's mass produced, I've been to China. I know exactly how much these shoes cost to be produced. Yeah? Productions cost. Yeah? And I expect an explanation from these people, from StockX, from Flight Club, and from Farfetch. Why is it that these shoes, they put up for so much when they're released, they only cost so little? I expect that. I demand that. Because I'm not doing this for me. I'm 57 years old. I've got 4 sons. I'm doing it for the young people. I'm doing it for my rapper friend here. I'm doing it for the cameraman and his kids. Because it is wrong. And it's got to stop. The legit checks has got to stop until this could be explained on these 3 online stores why they have the same shoe, yeah, and all of them got different details. Because going back to what I said, I will repeat, then that means that all of these young people or old people who do this Google thing with this legit and fake, fake and real, that means that they've been misled. And that's got to stop too. It's got to stop. And I really suggest that you're transparent, because we've had people who bought stuff from, and I'm going to be so honest about StockX. It's all here online. They lied to people. They lied to people. They lied to me. I did a test last week, 2 weeks ago, and I went on the revisions of StockX.
Hold up, cut. Let him come through.
Yep.
I did a revision on StockX. On an online, they can do revisions on, you know, people just like our store gets revisions and people say, yeah, blah, blah, fake, real, whatever. Cool. But then if StockX is so trustworthy, I decided to go to Trustpilot, which is one of the best, also Reddit, and it's all here. And I gave in. I wanted to see for myself how honest they are, because I already know that they have got, I mean, look, everything is red. That's the revisions. I mean, 2.43. I decided myself, Peter here, well, that's me, I decided to do a little bit of a test. And I wrote here, bought a pair of off-white Chicagos. All here. And you can go into it. You can see for yourself, trustpilot.com, StockX, yeah? And it's all here. I bought a pair of Chicagos, and after doing a legit check on them, found out that they are not 100% legit, because I already have a pair that I bought in 2018. So again, StockX has sold me crap. My advice is to buy from your local retailers. StockX never again. Okay, wonderful. Minutes later, StockX wrote me this. Hey Peter, we are sorry to hear this. Prior to shipping the item to you, we verify in person with our authentication experts who inspect each item to ensure
And give you
that,
a tag.
and give me a tag, yeah, that meets our conditions and standards, blah, blah, blah. Whichever way, they go on to say that I should make photos and send them ASAP to support@stockx.com. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate it. Now, why have I said that? That was a bluff. I have never sent any shoes to StockX under this name. Under this name. And that alone shows me that these people are thieves, liars, and cheats. Because when somebody buys something from our store, be that online or they buy it here in person, their names are registered, their payment method is registered, the size is registered, the address is registered, so that when we send the shoe, we have everything. Now, let's say, for example, my homie here, or the cameraman, or one person walking on the street, call us up and say, hey, Peter, we bought some shoes from you, but the left one is too big, and the right one is too small, or it's fake.
They look weird.
You know, they look weird, whatever. I can say, okay, wait a minute, John. I go into our computer back office. Or my wife goes into the computer because she's responsible for the administration. She does a great job. And we will then look up, let's call, you know, your data. I say, oh, okay, it's true. You're right, John. We got your size. Yeah, you paid on then and then. You paid with this card. You paid with American Express. You paid with PayPal.
That's the serial number of the
You got the
case
serial
you got.
number, your code number. We give it in. Okay, we will take care of it. Okay? Actually, that's how it works. We don't have any data in StockX, zero under my name. So how the heck can they reply to me about something that I didn't buy, but they're replying to me? I expected from them that they would go into the back office and check the data. Okay, customer, Mr. Peter Herwood. Yes, he bought the Chicago's. He paid 5,000 grand. Yeah, okay, fine. Then they would write to me. That's not the case because we're not registered by them. We didn't buy anything from them. So in other words, in the eyes of real people, we do not exist in StockX. But they still wrote that. It's wrong, it's a lie. Now we're going to go in depth into the so-called StockX. And if they were as trustworthy as everybody say, please bear with me. These stars here are the lowest and not dead stock. These are other people who wrote. Some of the languages I don't need from all over the world. Here's in Spanish, then you go up, then here's another one. Try unsubscribing from their spam list. This site is FFF joke. It goes on. You can look at it yourself. Trustpilot.com. Trustpilot.com. You can see I don't create this. That's the fact. That's the reality. And you've got all of these of complaints for 7 days ago, 8 days ago. The word fakes. It's a word I don't use often. Actually, it's a word that I will never use. In regards of the word fake shoes. Fake. What is fake?
Cheap knockoffs?
Cheap knockoffs, homie, cheap knockoffs. What I think of fake is based on something or someone that is not real. That's a fake. That's a fake. That means it does not exist. You're fake. There's no original you. You're fake. Okay. I wouldn't apply it to the word shoe. I can say a copy. I can take this shoe and I can make a copy of it with materials that are not the same. With the machine that prints the words is a machine that just prints words, but not the same angle, not the same quality, and maybe not even the same language. That's a fake. And that's fake means the material is fake, the machines that make the material is fake, the machines that make the shoelaces are fake, the machines that make the print on the shoelaces are fake. No, they're not fake. They're just taking material, not knowing what the original shoes or the original shirts are made of. They're just taking a material, building a shoe, using a machine, putting the name on, putting the details on. That's a copy.
Yeah.
It's a copy. And copies are not really so much in the sneaker business, but you would have a copy of a Gucci. You would have a copy of a Louis Vuitton. You would have a copy of these and that. And there's more. Let's get to that fake thing. There are more fakes out there on the market worldwide. There are more fakes from Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, and all of these brand names, which a lot of them are originating from Europe. There are much more fakes from those or copies than these shoes. Even if these shoes are in demand, be they copy, fake, or whatever, originals. There's no fakes in regards of these shoes. There's a word called UA, and UA means unauthorized. And an unauthorized shoe is simply this. And this you can look up yourself in Google. You can Google what does UA shoe means. UA. UA. The truth, and it's in Google, you can Google it yourself, okay? The truth behind unauthorized authentic. UA means unauthorized authentic. What does that mean? Okay, it means An unauthorized shoe is a shoe that is made in the same factory as the so-called originals. In other words, I'll give you an example of an unauthorized shoe. Let's say, for example, this shoe is made in the factory in China, and the original, for example, the orange. Let's say, for example, the orange tag was a bit too small as they were working on it, okay? And they have let's say it's supposed to be a centimeter, and it's like a half of a centimeter. Then they say, oh, no. Then they go back. Perfect, okay? It's not that this is fake or copy. It's because that the original positioning from the mold, and a mold is the form of a shoe, which is built in a machine that has programmed to make this particular part exactly a centimeter, or this particular part exactly a millimeter. And if because they're made so fast, that's what's called mass produced, yeah? And if they're too small, it goes into the bucket, okay? And what happens with these shoes is that they get sold off. And here we go. And this is all on the internet. Unauthorized shoes produced and these are people I was dealing with, okay? We blocked out their names, of course. Produced in the same factories with the same workers as the official authentic pairs. These unauthorized pairs were processed after the factory's contract with Nike ended and being processed without Nike's international consent. That means that Nike knows about the shoes, but they don't sell them. They have got to sell the ones that are exactly designed with the size of every single letter, every single detail, okay? So they discard it. But then here, and no quality on these pairs. There's no quality. They don't give them quality authorization, but they're not fake and they're not copies. They just didn't come up to the standard that they were supposed to. That's why they got discarded. That happens in the clothing industry, that happens in the shoe industry, that happens in the jewelry industry, that happens in the car industry. All the items, that's what they're resold again, and they're called outlet. Outlet. You know, outlet, that's a word that a lot of people got to understand. You can go to any country, in any store, in any department store, and then you would see they have a big tent outside or something, outlet store. Huh? And it's not because they're fakes, it's because they did not meet the criterion, you know what I mean, in regards of the details. That's why they're sold off cheaper. That's the first thing, okay? And then my other colleague, he was asking, well, does is it also on the boxes? Does it come with the box and all that? How about the serial number inside the shoe and the barcode? And he said, yes, the box, the serial number, all of that is the same as the originals or the ones that are authenticized, okay? And this goes on and on and on and on and on. And that's just one. We just chose one from thousands that you can see. The word UA means unauthorized. That doesn't mean they're fake. As I said before, if this or this comes not as they should have with the original mold, the form of a shoe, because they use a mold to make, they can take one mold and make 2,000 pairs of size 45. They take another mold and make 2,000 pairs of size 42, and so on and so forth. And if something is defected on the mold as they're being made, because they're mass produced, that means they're fast. Yeah, they get produced extremely fast because the world demand. Okay, there has to be flaws. Have to be flaws. You can buy an original pair of shoes from 5 different retailers who sell original pairs, and I guarantee you, I've seen it myself, that every single pair have got something different on them. So what do you call them? Fakes? They're not. I can give you a YouTuber who actually speaks specifically on that. So anything that's mass produced is prone to having more flaws than you can imagine. Now, having said that, when we can go back to Flight Club, Jordan's flight, also the Jordan Chicago's, especially those, and Farfetch, then the argument is then, are these fakes? Are these unauthorized? Or are these so mass produced that they have got no other choice than sell them that come like this, and the details are all different, all three of them. Because if that's the case, if that's the excuse that because they're mass produced and they have all these discrepancies and all the details are not the same, then we have to kill this whole fake and legit check on Google. And that alone, that's a monster. So somebody has got to take responsibility of the people for 5 years since all these off-white shoes came, especially this, have been so misguided. And if the legit checkers have been misguided on Google, if the legit checkers have been misguided on YouTube, that means that nobody can accuse a guy from down the road or a guy from the USA or a guy from Australia buying shoes, and then the critics, the so-called same legit checkers, say that they're fake. Because as long as they cannot have an explanation for what I'm showing you here, then I'm sorry, there's no fakes. They're just shoes. And because of this sickness, they have stolen money from millions and millions of people since the off-white, the 10 dropped in 2016, 17, whatever, and that is wrong. I can tell you that a shoe that's limited, a shoe that is not a copy, is this. This shoe, because I customize shoes. This is a Nike Air Force One High, yeah? And I would say, and I know this is the only pair on the planet, because here now this one I'm just saying, I'm not finished yet, yeah? This is what we call limited, yeah? Without the stones, it's not limited. Without the crystals, without the cubic zirconia, without the decoration, without the iced out, it's not limited. But as soon as I decorate it, I customize it, then it becomes the only pair on the planet. That's what's limited. Understand it right? That's what we're speaking about limited, yeah? Here, this is my own brand with my own logo. I got them designed specially like this, yeah? These are limited because I only made 5 pairs per color. So are these. That's what's limited. Because my own brand, I know exactly how many I got made, and I can stand behind it and say these are limited. So if I decide to put these up for, let's say, $5,000, they're worth every penny for the simple reason being they are limited. And you can Google this shoe, you will not find it on Google, you will not find it anywhere, because they're mine and they're 5 pairs unless they have made copies of them in China, which they probably already have because that's normal. And having said that, I hope that you understand that the reason I am doing this and the reason I've done this and showed you the truth, this is not something I created. This is what's on Google, and this is what they have brainwashed many, many people. And I am sure that StockX, Flight Club, Farfetch, and these 3 online monsters know exactly that what I'm saying is true. It's just because that nobody have ever would ever come to the idea, not even the thought of suspecting these 3 online sellers. Huh? I have suspected them? No. I have seen with my own eyes, and you will see with your own eyes. You can Google all the information and you can compare yourself, and you will see that if they were selling the original shoe, the UA shoe, or the fake shoe, at least they should make sure that all of the details on all 3 of them are the same. And until now, I can say that it's not the same. I got it, I've seen it, and we've been on it for 5 months. I'm done. I thank you for listening, and I know that this will open your eyes. I expect from Farfetch and and StockX and Flight Club an answer. As I said, I am not criticizing these online stores. I'm not pointing my finger at them. I just want them to explain to me, not especially me, but more like explain to the world. Why is it that they're selling shoes that they're not identical to each other? That's all. Why are they not identical? Because if they're not identical, then they have to explain to the YouTubers and the Googlers who create these legit check photos on YouTube and on Google. They have to explain to them Not to me. I'm happy with my own brand. Don't forget, I have my own brand. And that's a beautiful thing when you got your own brand. That's my baby. Nobody be stealing that. Yeah? I'm done. But it's painful for me to sit here and do this. But I know I'm doing it for the young people. I'm doing it for the kid next door. I'm doing it for the kid in 10 other countries. I'm doing it for the young people because they got to know that the shoes are not worth what they think. And I have to teach them how to go with money. If we don't do it, if the parents don't do it, teach kids a pair of shoes for $6,000. No, sorry, $190. Oh, wow. It's wrong. Because I have to teach them. Somebody got to teach them how to learn how to go with money. Because if a young guy comes into the store, 15 years old, wants to buy shoes for $5,000, buys them. And then he grows up. He has no understanding about money. How the heck can he show his family how to manage money? But he cannot manage it himself. I'm doing it for the young people so that they understand that at the end of the day, that this is just a shoe. And what is the purpose of a shoe? To protect your feet. What's the purpose of a pair of glasses? To protect your eyes if you can't, that you can read better. What's the purpose of a knife and a fork? That you can eat. You can eat with your hands, of course, but that's the purpose. Always, I'm a believer. What is the purpose of the things we buy in today's world since thousands of years ago? Why do we use them? It's the use. It's what they're made for. They're made for your feet. They're made for your hat, your head if they're caps. The glasses are made for your eyes if you can't read. If you don't have any problems with your eyes, you have sunglasses. They're made for keeping the sun out of your eyes. That's the purpose. Has nothing to do with the price. Has nothing to do with the color. And sure as heck nothing to do with the hype. It's always the usage of the item. God bless you all. I've just given you the tool. I've given you the education. And I've given you the knowledge. And I've opened your eyes. I don't have to say I hope or think. I have opened your eyes because the same social media that you use to look at this stuff is the same social media that will educate you about this stuff. I'm just a servant. I'm just one of God's servants. I just want to show you that whatever you see on the internet, it's not real. 99% of the time. Don't believe what you see. Have a good day. And if you believe in what I say, please let this go viral, more viral than the coronavirus. God bless you and have a good afternoon. Peace out from Switzerland in Europe. Peter Andrew, PA Superstore. Bye-bye.